Hello, welcome back to ADHD Fabrication, where we're working on this 1991 EF Honda Civic. We've already made it mid-engine rear-wheel drive using a VR6 out of a 2002 Volkswagen Golf. We've already got all of our chassis bracing and our engine mounted and our suspension mounted and all of that stuff done. We've been doing a whole bunch of gusseting and doing tubing for the past couple of episodes, all leading up to this episode, which is getting this motor and transmission back out of here so that we can reach every nook and cranny that we have stitch welded together so that it would all at least hold and, proof of concept roll and sit under its own weight. And it's looking like it's about time for us to do exactly that and pull this motor and transmission out. Okay, it's the next day. It's time to put this thing further up in the air and do what I've been dreading. And that's all the overhead, because I suck at overhead. but I guess I gotta get good right now. Science and shit has determined we need to move that up like 2 inches. That's just a guess actually, but... Okay, we got the fenders clearanced, at least enough material removed that I can clearance them a little bit more with gentle persuasion with a hammer if I need to on both sides. But I think that they're moved enough that they should be good. But what I figure I'll do is work on that later, because technically if I threw wheels on it, I don't need to do anything to that. I could drive it just like it is and work on the body stuff later when I do the wide body kit. What that leaves us with as our last like real major thing to engineer and figure out is how we're going to connect our tie rod, because I'm not keeping this steering rack. The only reason that the steering rack is still here is to keep the position of these wheels when I was doing measuring for everything else. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to use this tie rod as it is. I'll pull the whole steering rack off, and I want to inspect the steering rack. And the section that this tie rod end screws into in the steering rack, we might be cutting off so that we can use that threaded part. So the section where the threads are in there, as long as I can get to it, I'm going to have to cut off the female section on both sides of the steering rack, rendering it trash, and it'll go in my scrap bin. But I don't have a lathe or any way to cut those threads, so I can't machine myself a piece. So I'm gonna have to salvage the pieces out of here, as long as what I'm imagining is how it is on the end here. Even if we gotta mutilate it. I'm gonna have to cut the zip ties, get these boots out of the way, measure to the tie rod ends themselves on both sides. I'll get some measurements on this direction, I'll mark some stuff with wax pens, and then we will take this thing out of here. Okay, we got those cut off. That was kind of a pain, obviously, because it was hardened steel of some kind. This side is a little bit floppy. This side's in pretty good shape. All that means is that in the future, we're going to have to change that joint right there. It doesn't have play, or at least not very much. It has a very, very minuscule amount of play, but we're gonna roll with it for the moment. So now what my going plan is I'm either gonna have this piece or a piece that'll go across and be a solid bar all the way, and then this will slip inside of it. It'll have some holes drilled in it. It'll be rosette welded and welded around the end on both sides, and then I'll mimic something like this but sturdier that will hold this and put this at exactly 2 inches. Essentially, this will be a dummy steering rack. That's it for this week though. You'll have to come back in 2 weeks to figure out what I end up doing with that. And by then, hopefully we'll have our steering rod end link, drag link things solid to the subframe. And then what we can do is take out the entire subframe and all of the suspension and everything again. And then we can go through and actually grind everything. I can work on getting the fenders patchworked in, get all the metal replaced in there that it's missing, grind everything down, make better welds everywhere, pretty everything up, clean this, probably paint this separately while it's outside of the car, because the last major thing that we have to do is make these solid so the car doesn't turn when we go around corners and we don't get crazy bump steer. Hopefully you've enjoyed this installment of me putting a subframe from a Golf and an engine from a Golf in the back of a 1991 EF Honda Civic. That's where I'm gonna have to leave you this week. Like, subscribe, tell your dog I said hello, and remember, don't lay your meatloaf.